Do you have a pound of ground beef and about 30 minutes to put supper together? Well, keep watching because today, this is your video. Hey y'all, I'm Sammy and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be sharing some of my absolute favorite of all time ground beef recipes, and I'm also throwing in some new ones. So please make sure you watch the entire video and tell me which one your favorite recipe is in this video. But I guess we better go ahead and get right on into it. Come on y'all, let's go.
So we are starting today's video off with a bang with this very easy Korean beef, and trust me, you're going to want to try this, and I know it's going to become a favorite because it already is ours. So into a large skillet, I'm going to start with 2 pounds of lean ground beef. We're going to go ahead and brown that up, just break it apart. You don't have to put too much seasoning in this, so I'm just going to keep it simple with some salt and pepper, because the flavor is coming here in a minute. So once all of this is browned up, this is when Flavor Town comes to play. So I just make sure all that is broken up, and then we're going to add in about 2 tablespoons of garlic. You don't have to put as much. I'll have the recipe linked down below, but we love a lot of garlic here, and y'all should know that if you are one of my regulars. But after you get the garlic stirred in, you'll want to add a 1/4 cup of brown sugar and a 1/4 cup of soy sauce. Now you can always adjust this to your taste if you want more or less after you get everything in here the first time. Just add some more. So then we're going to add in about 2 teaspoons of the toasted sesame oil and 2 teaspoons of the ginger. Now that can be a little bit potent, so just be careful when you're putting that in there. And you also want to make sure you break up that ground ginger in there as well. That way everything is, distributed evenly. Once you have that, I added in just about a tablespoon of butter just to kind of add a little bit of creaminess to it, and we let that simmer on the stove for about 30 minutes, if that, maybe 20 actually. While that was simmering, I went ahead and made up some jasmine rice and some steamed broccoli right there in that other pan, and that was supper this night, y'all. It was so good. We served it over that jasmine rice with some fresh green onions and some sesame seeds. Now you could always add like a Kewpie mayo on top or something like that, but it was good just as is, and all it was packed full of flavor. This one was definitely a winner beef dinner. Up next is bacon cheeseburger crescent ring. Now I have never made a crescent ring. I know that sounds funny, but I'm glad I did because it was something different, and y'all, it was absolutely delicious. So if you've never made a crescent ring, try this one because you won't be disappointed with it. So on my large pizza pan right there, I just sprayed it a little bit, and we're going to take 2 cans of crescent rolls, and what we're going to do is we're going to make the squares instead of the triangles, and we're going to go all the way around on my round pizza pan. Now I believe this is a 12-inch pizza pan, but you don't want to separate them. Like he said to leave them, and when I say he, it's Luke Brown off of Cooking in the Midwest, but he left his in squares, and you just want to leave that circle right there in the middle. Now that we've got that done and set aside, you start with 2 pounds of ground beef into a skillet with some Badia Complete and some burger seasoning of your choice. And then here is where I changed it up a little bit. I did add in a 2.5 ounce package of the real baking pieces, and 1 medium onion already was on the recipe. So once you have everything in that skillet, you just want to go ahead and chop that on up just to make sure everything is distributed. And as you could see, my hamburger was a little bit frozen right there in the center, but that's all right. We worked on with it, and then as you can tell, we've already got that ground up, browned up, whatever you want to call it. Now I did put together a burger seasoning or a burger sauce, and it's just mayonnaise, ketchup, mustard, sweet relish, and you mix all that together. That recipe will also be linked down below. So you put about 2 tablespoons of that into this beef mixture, and you just give that a good old stir to make sure that everything is happy together in this skillet. And then we're going to be ready to assemble this crescent ring. So once you have everything ready, you'll start out with a layer of sharp cheddar cheese, or you could even use American cheese if you wanted to keep it, you know, with the cheeseburger theme. But once you've got that layer of cheese on there, you'll take your ground beef mixture, and I did make a little bit of a mess with this, but that's all right. I tried to do it as easy as I could, but like I said, if it was 1 pound like the original recipe called for, it probably wouldn't have been as messy. But it doesn't matter. It tasted absolutely delicious. And of course, y'all know you got to have more cheese right on top before you close it on up. So we just took each section and kind of tucked it underneath to where you could get to the other dough that was on the bottom. And then once you kind of seal up those crescent rings just a little bit, you will take some melted butter and go right over the top of each crescent dough part. Once you have the butter on those, now you could put any kind of seasoning you wanted to on it, but I just kept it simple with some sesame seeds right here, and I just put that right over the top. This goes into a 375 degree oven for about 25 to 35 minutes. You do want to make sure that the crescent dough on the bottom gets nice and crispy. As you can tell right here, y'all, when I tell y'all this was packed full of flavor and it is belly filling, oh my goodness. Whew, this was so good. This is definitely going to be on the menu rotation. And I just served it up with some more of that burger sauce. But if you're liking today's video, please make sure you hit that thumbs up and leave me a comment below. And while you're at it, if you're not subscribed already, I would love to have you as part of my YouTube family. Just click that little red button right there. It is absolutely free, and I would love to have you. Moving right along into this cheesy beef and tater skillet. This is a meat and tater if I've never seen a recipe before. Oh my goodness. So into an air fryer, or you could even cook these in your oven. I just diced up 3 large russet taters, covered them in some olive oil, and just did garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, and salt and pepper. Toss those up and cook them in the air fryer for about 20 minutes. Then into a large cast iron skillet, because you want to make sure it's oven safe, we are going to go ahead and smash down 2 pounds of ground beef into the bottom of this skillet, because it is considered like a smash burger cheesy tater skillet. So you want to get that good crust on the bottom of that. So that's why I just went ahead and I'm using my cast iron. We got some salt and pepper going on top right here, along with some caramelized onion butter by Kinder's. Y'all need to run to the store and get this seasoning, because it is so good on everything. I have yet to find out something that it don't work on. So now we're going to go ahead and turn this up about medium to medium high and let that good old crust form on that bottom. And then I just split it into fourths right here. That way it would be easier to flip, because there's no way I'm going to be able to flip that whole entire thing unless I have me a big old spatula. But I didn't, so I just decided to cut it in quarters, and it worked just fine. I just went ahead and switched that on around. And once we have that whole thing flipped, we're going to let the other side get nice and brown before we chop it up into big old pieces. Now, you could always just go ahead and brown your burger up, but I like to have that crust on the bottom, and that's how they said to do it. So once you have that broken up, we're just going to go ahead and dump them taters in there. And y'all, they were nice and crispy, but they were so tender on the inside. We'll give that a good mix through. Then we're going to top it with my favorite thing, which is some cheddar cheese. Once you have that cheese on top, you'll just go ahead and put that under the broiler for about 5 or 6 minutes. Just keep an eye on it. You just want that to melt through. Would y'all look at this yumminess right here in this pot, skillet, pan, whatever you want to call it. Ooh, man, I tell y'all, this was good. We had absolutely no leftovers. And here is that burger sauce yet again, because it is so versatile on everything, and it just makes it so delicious. I just went ahead and served this on up as is with some of that burger sauce on top. And y'all, I did put some sesame seeds over the top, because you know, why not? Plus, it made it look a little bit prettier too, along with some parsley as well. And this was supper this night, and I cannot rave enough about this recipe. These 3 recipes that I've already shared, y'all, is going to be your family favorites because it is meat and taters and all kind of flavorness that you're just going to love. Now, let's get into 2 of my favorite burger recipes. I could not leave these out of my ground beef video. We're going to make my famous bacon burgers. So easy, but yet so delicious. Perfect for any kind of cookout this summer. So when I make these, I make a lot of these. That's why I have 3 pounds of burger here, but please feel free to adjust it to your family size. Now that I have my ground beef in there, I have chopped up a 1/2 pound of bacon into very small pieces. That way it mixes well into that burger and you just get a nice patty. So I put a 1/2 pound of chopped up bacon in there, 1 packet of the beefy onion Lipton soup mix, some wood-fired garlic by Kinder's, and some caramelized onion butter yet again. Definitely cannot go without these seasonings. If y'all have not tried the Kinder seasonings, please do. So once you got everything in there, you mix it so well together and then you patty those out. But please don't overmix your burger patties because they will get tough. So once you have them all formed, I put a dimple right there in the center of it, and it does kind of help them from shrinking and everything, and it kind of holds the burger patty together more. I just go ahead and set my little Lodge glass lid right over top of my skillet. That way stuff don't splatter. They don't have to cook very long. You just want to make sure it's cooked through. And we kept it simple with some French fries this evening. But I'm going to tell y'all what, some bacon burgers are the way to go. Now for these next burgers, y'all, they are a 10 out of 10. They are called crack burgers. I know it's not the most appealing name, but why they're called crack burgers? Because they're addictive. So into a bowl, we've got 2 pounds of ground beef, 2 cups of shredded cheddar cheese. Trust me on this, it's going to be all right. And we're also going to have 1 cup of sour cream for this mixture. But like I said, I'll have the original recipes linked down below so y'all don't have to miss out on them. But once you got the sour cream in there, we're going to take 1 packet of the ranch seasoning mix, 1 packet of the 2.5 ounce fully cooked real bacon pieces, and then, you guessed it, we're going to dump all of that cheddar cheese right on into that meat mixture, along with some Badia complete, seasoned to your taste buds, some garlic powder, and onion powder, of course. You got to have some onion powder in there. Salt and pepper. Just make sure you watch the salt, of course. You can leave salt out. I did this time. I just used some adobo seasoning. And then I used the best tools God ever gave you. And we're going to mix this up lightly just to make sure everything is well combined together. You don't want to overmix it, like I said in the last burger video, because your burgers will turn out tough and dry. These won't, because you got that sour cream and that cheese in there. It's going to keep them nice and yummy. So, like I said before, I always patty out my burgers and put the little dimple in there. Sometimes I'll just lay them down here in the pan and put the dimple in them once I got them in the skillet. But these cook for probably about 5 minutes on each side, if that. You just want to get them nice and golden brown and make sure that that beef is cooked through thoroughly. Once you've got some good color on there, you can see that you've got the brownness, but you can also see every little piece of cheese in there. And then some of that bacon gets crispy too. Oh my goodness. Run to the stove right now and make you some of these, or run to the grill. Either way you go, you don't want to miss out on these. They are so delicious, and I hope y'all enjoy them just as much as I did. If you're liking the video, please make sure you give me a thumbs up. And if you're not already part of my family, do me a favor and click that subscribe button and join my family, because I absolutely love y'all to pieces. Now, last but not least, I cannot go without including this unstuffed pepper skillet. I love some stuffed peppers, but this is just so much of an easier version, and you ain't got to worry about stuffing no peppers. So into an oven-safe skillet, because I'm just using my Lodge. I'll have it linked down below, and I'll see if I can link it on the screen for y'all as well. But with 1 pound of ground beef, we're going to put in 1 diced up onion, about a medium diced up onion, and then 1 cup to 2 cups of chopped up peppers, however much you want. Then we're going to put in some steak seasoning, some salt and some pepper, and then your paprika, about a teaspoon of each, and then about a tablespoon of the steak seasoning. Just depends on how much seasoning you want in here. Like I've always said, you season till your little heart's happy and whatever your taste buds like. Once you have all of that mixed together and those peppers and stuff have cooked down, you'll take 1 whole can of diced up petite tomatoes, 1 can of beef broth, and about 2 tablespoons of the W sauce or Worcestershire, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to put in, y'all know me, 2 tablespoons of garlic, but you don't have to put that much in there, just whatever you want, along with 1 cup of white rice. You don't want the instant rice. You want to use the kind that takes about 20 minutes to cook, because it's going to soak up all that beef broth in this, and it is going to make it so good and so fluffy and just packed full of flavor. I cannot rave enough about this. This is definitely one of my favorite Skillet meals, and that makes it even better because it's 1 skillet. Once you have that mixed together and that rice is cooked, you'll take 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese, stir that right on into that mixture, and then we'll top it with, you've guessed it, more cheddar cheese. And I did a blend. I did a mozzarella and a cheddar on this, just to kind of give it a little bit of a different flavor. This does go under the broiler once you have it topped with cheese for about 5 to 7 minutes, just depending on your broiler, until that cheese gets nice and melty and a little bit golden brown and bubbly, of course. And look at this yumminess coming up right now. This was so good. You don't even have to add anything to it. I put a little bit of parsley on top, honestly, just to make it look pretty, but it didn't need anything. This was to die for. Definitely give this a try. Now let's move into some bloopers, y'all, because y'all know I'm good at that.
Hey y'all, I'm Sammy and welcome to my kitchen. Today, like I said, we'll be sharing... Why do I get so tongue-tied? Why can't I just go through a whole intro? Take 548,232. My hair's probably all a shamble. Hey y'all, I'm Sammy and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be sharing some of my top ground beef. Hey y'all, welcome to today's... No, I look goofy doing that. Hey y'all. Lord mercy, my dogs are even looking at me like I'm crazy. Take number 999,999 trillion gazillion billion. Hey y'all, I'm Sammy and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be sharing some of my most favorite ground beef recipes, not video. Recipes, not video. Recipes, video. Today is recipes, not video. Let's see if I can get it done right this time. Hey y'all, I'm Sammy. Peppy, your mama's crazy. Alright y'all, that is it for today's video. I truly hope you enjoyed it and it gave you some ideas of maybe some new ground beef recipes to make in a hurry for your family. If you are in need of prayer, please let me know down below and I would be honored to pray for you all. And if you're looking for some more meal inspiration, make sure to check out these other 2 videos on my screen right now. But until next time, God bless. Bye.